NSFW, what unexpectedly turned you on? My wife doesn't really ever swear. Except when we are doing the deed. Then she throws around F-bombs freely. One day she kicked the corner of the table and screamed out a loud "Fuck." I had a Pavlovian response in my shorts. When my so jokingly bit my butt. I was lying naked on the bed after a shower and he straight up bit my butt cheek as a joke, and dang, it did things. Wife couldn't reach something and I caught her hopping up to try and get to it when she didn't know I was there. My brain went into primal must duck right now mode. A couple years back, my girlfriend at the time and I used to have sex while Pandora played. Every once in a while a car insurance commercial would play in the middle of songs. We laughed it off. But it didn't distract us from doing the deed. Fast forward a couple years forward and I hear that same car insurance commercial. Instant erection. My former professor took job as copywriter for the education system in our company. So I write the technical stuff. Send it to him and he'll make it nice to read. First time I read his work on my text, I was amazed by how well he understood what I meant and made it so much better. And I got wet. I still sometimes think about certain paragraphs when masturbating. My hairdresser straddles my leg once in a while and gets really close. She also gives the best scalp massages. Kind of like a reverse hair down moment? Don't know how to describe it. First time noticing was a girl I kind of knew in high school. Sort of pretty with really long brunette hair. In a science class. It was a practical lab. So no hanging hair. In just one sweep she gathered up all her hair and pulled and tied it into a ponytail. And slipped on the safety glasses. And I was just gone. 70-year-old woman said I was handsome. Got a raging hard-on for some reason. I think I need a girlfriend. I female was doing dishes. And one of male friends who was visiting was watching me from the doorway. Unbeknownst to me. When I noticed, he was just casually standing there. Leaning against the frame. Arms crossed. Moist. Panties. First off, I'm a guy. So my high school had a darkroom for a black and white film photography program. I was the only boy in the course. There were about 10 to 15 girls in the class. I was pretty good. And by my junior year, I had been involved in the program longer than any other student. Having so much experience led to me being a good place to go for advice on printing their photos. I would go to their station to figure things out. And the same 3 friends of mine, that were girls, in that class, would come up behind me and rest their chin on my right shoulder. And that would always wake me up. I never expected something like that to send goosebumps up and down my body. And warrant a reaction downstairs. But it happened. And I took it in stride from then on. That scene in GoldenEye where Xenia on a top squeezes that guy to death awoke something in me at a very young age. Driving off cliffs in video games. Falling in them in general. Also those videos of people jumping around on very high ledges and buildings. Late to the party but whatever. Being in my tent. Like. I don't even know. When I'm camping and I retire to my tent. Slip into my sleeping bag and zip up the little tent door. I have no idea, but apparently that really does it for me. Physical therapy. A no bullshit Indian lady is working on my neck. I start to droop my head. She unceremoniously yanks me back into position. Keep your head up. Damn. Yes, mistress. My girlfriend, when she picked up a knife, didn't expect that one. I don't have a medical fetish, but for some reason medical scrubs do it for me. My boyfriend speaking Gaelic to me for the first time. He was just telling me what the police are called in Ireland, but fuck, talk about a waterfall. Went to yoga with my lady friend. At the end of the class, the instructor had us all lie on our backs on our mats and she was humming or lightly singing. Then she rubbed a lemony oil on our shoulders and foreheads. And the touching and humming gave me a braingasm, and I've been into ASMR ever since. My lady friend did not like hearing how much I enjoyed the conclusion to the class. A mistake I never repeated. An ex-boyfriend lecturing me about money. I don't think it was the context. Just the way he did it. Like a stern father. He did a lot of things in a stern, disapproving dad way, and it was hot. I guess this means I have daddy issues. A girl I was friends with had apparently been giving me hints for a while that I hadn't been picking up on. One time we are hanging out and she goes to take a pee. She yells at me from the bathroom to come here. I walk up to the door and ask her what she needs. With no hesitation she says, "Come in here. I want you to watch me pee." Unexpected turn on for some reason. I don't know what it is. But something about the just woke up look really gets me. Like messy hair and loose pajamas. Shit's my kryptonite. Hung out mini golfing with a group of friends. Our resident goof was being her typical self. Kinda ditzy and along for the ride, but not very skilled. Just sorta aloof. Also she's into me. But it's unfortunately not mutual. We all went to play pool as a last-minute decision. And as it turns out, her aunt has a pool table in her house and she's been playing for ages every week. She snapped instantly into an extremely unusual focus and level of skill. The pool cue was an extension of the body that she was moving across, on, and around the table. Like it was a sophisticated dance that nobody knew better than her. I have never been more aroused by that woman than I was that night. Ever since. It's been the same group dynamic. She's been the same person that I'm platonically friends with. I'll never forget how she woke something up in me that night though. Or how weird it was. Older women who give off DOM mommy vibes. Once had an older woman with that short silver fox haircut and a stronger jaw call me a good girl while I was at work because I did something right with her order that nobody else could for some reason. I'm a relatively straight female. Or am I? Well, duck. Ick. I wouldn't say it turned me on. But I've once seen my teacher's belly button. Because her shirt wasn't covering it properly for a moment. And let me tell you, it's a fine-looking belly. Pinning a guy down while I was on top and taking full control while he begged me to duck him. I never knew having power and having a guy beg for me would drive me so crazy. It brought out a side of me I never knew even remotely existed. There was a Disney TV movie in like 2008 called Minuteman. At the start of the movie, two of the main male characters are forced to dress as cheerleaders by school bullies and are hung from a flagpole while all the students watch and laugh. That turn on made 10-year-old me awfully confused. And I'm pretty sure that me watching that movie had a huge effect on future mess kinks. Bite my earlobe. It was great until my cat apparently figured it out and now it's how she wakes me up. Whenever my girl talks about how she appreciates me and thinks about a future with me. Instant we need to duck mode. A female bodybuilder. For around 3 seconds until I realized those were girl titties. I'm gay. Coming down off a DMT trip, and there is no easy way to say this. I masturbated thinking about my bedroom door. He turned on a movie while I was standing up and he unexpectedly pulled me into his lap and he was hard. I liked that way more than I thought I would.